We're here at the Bailey County Civic Center, and we're talking with Iris and Manny Ramirez, Mr. and Mrs. Manny Ramirez. And they are at the Muleshoe Rotary Club meeting today at noon on this Tuesday, March the 18th, 2014. Can you believe 2014? And Manny is, of course, with the Denver Broncos, and you'll be returning this season.
Yes, ma'am.
And which season will this be for the Broncos with you?
This will be going. We'll be going into my fourth season.
Season.
It's been,
and how many years in the NFL?
Going on 8. Yes, ma'am.
And so now, tell me if you can remember, when's the first time you ever touched a football?
I would say probably back in elementary at the recess, when get to go out there and just play with all our friends and that were in class. So the first time, probably fumbled it too. So.
And what about where was that?
Oh, that was in Houston, Texas, at Parker Elementary. It was some good times. So had a lot of fun with the boys.
And so you were really growing up in Houston then?
Yes, ma'am. I grew up there, born and raised. Didn't leave until I went to college, in Texas Tech, and was it 2002. So it's been a good time.
So now, Iris, when's the first time you ever touched a football?
I probably was in elementary too at Spring Lake Earth. We always played on the playground, and we always had football too. Football's life in Texas, so
that's true. It certainly is, especially in West Texas. I think even
yes, ma'am.
more. Friday nights, those lights come on, don't they?
Yes, ma'am.
And now you are. What was your maiden name, Iris?
Castillo.
And so you were born around here?
Yes, I was born in Amherst.
In Amherst.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Do you remember the doctor who maybe delivered you?
I have no idea.
You don't remember him?
I don't know who that was. My mom does, I'm sure.
I'm sure she does. Now, is your mother and father still living?
Yes, my mom and dad, they pastor a church in Earth, Texas, Angie and Oscar.
Angie and Oscar, right?
Yes.
And do you have brothers and sisters?
Yes, I have an older brother, Oscar, younger brother, Ida, and another younger brother, Justin.
And
did I say that? Oh, I'm sorry.
And so, did all of you grow up in Spring Lake Earth or Earth? Or
yes, ma'am. We all grew up in Earth. We all went to Spring Lake Earth, graduated, and yeah.
So, how did you meet Iris?
Actually, we met at Texas Tech. I, of course, was on the football team, and Iris was the trainer for the volleyball and softball team. And we were actually lied to by one of our trainers there, Steve Pincock, which I love to death, if he ever does see this. But, he just, thought he was trying to play matchmaker, and he was very successful. So.
Well, that's great.
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
So I guess you're grateful to him.
Yes, we're very grateful. It all turned out very well. It was kind of confusing at the time. But
at the time?
Yes, ma'am.
And so what year did you graduate from Spring Lake Earth High School?
I graduated in 99.
And you went straight to Tech?
No, ma'am. I went to Iowa State for my undergrad, and I graduated there in 2003 with an athletic training degree. And then I went to grad school at Texas Tech, and then that's where I met Manny, and I graduated there at 2005.
So he was an undergraduate at the time?
Yes, ma'am. I am older than him.
And so now, Manny, back to Houston. Tell me about your family. Is your mother and father still living?
Yes, they're both living still in Houston, Texas. I've tried to get them to move quite a few times, but they won't give in. They love it there, so that's home for them. I have an older sister. Her name is Rosalinda. She has her own family as well. It's 5 of them. And then I have my younger brother, Angel. He's 24. He still lives at home, but he works. Provides for the family and everything. So they're all doing good. So.
Well, that's wonderful. Now, did you ever think that you would find a little girl from Earth?
No, ma'am.
On Earth?
Well, on Earth, yes, but not in Earth. So, but the first time I met her and I asked her where she was from, she said Earth, Texas, and I really thought she was playing with me. Just trying to told me to get away from her or something like that. But she was serious. There is really in Earth, Texas. We have a flashing stop sign now. But I love it. It's my home now, and I love my family and friends that I've made there. So
really, Earth, Texas, on Earth is your home.
Yes, ma'am. It is.
And you have a house there.
Yes, ma'am.
And you've made it home.
Yes, ma'am.
Permanent.
Right now, yes.
Yeah, I'm trying to catch him. Now, what about, were you surprised that you really sort of settled in Earth?
I was. When we got released from Detroit, we didn't really have a permanent home because we lived in Detroit the whole time. So I was pregnant, and we just decided it was the best place to be because my mom was there and she could take care of me while he was trying to figure out where he was going to go play. So it kind of just happened that way, and it's worked out. He loves it, and he's a laid-back guy anyway. He doesn't need much to stay entertained, so he likes how it's secluded, and we're kind of just our own people. People let us just do our own thing. So.
Do you live in the city limits?
Yes, ma'am. We live right by the pool.
By the Earth City Pool?
Yes, ma'am.
So we know sort of where you live.
You kind of know where I live.
Yeah. And your parents live in Earth, too?
They live outside of the city limits.
Outside of the city limits, okay. So now you said when you were pregnant, how many children do you have?
We have two. I have a 6-year-old girl, Zaitlin, and a almost 3-year-old boy, Jamari.
How pretty, those names. Now, who thought of those names?
As much as I want to take credit, I can't, but it's Iris. She's a huge Scrabble player. So for our 6-year-old Zaitlin, besides the X, we just wanted that one to start with an X. But the rest of the letters make up her mom's name, Angelita. And her middle name is Alexandra, which is my mom's Rosalinda. And then Jamari is all the siblings. Justin, Oscar, Manny, Angel, Rosalinda, and then Ida and Iris. So, yes, ma'am.
That's something. That's a good Scrabble player.
I'm pretty good. Good.
So, have you ever played with her?
Yes. I've beat her once, and I have never played against her again. So, it's rare that I beat her.
So, now, at Spring Lake Earth High School, were you athletic?
Yes, I played basketball, and I did field events. I wasn't a track star. We don't have very many options in Earth. You either play basketball, cross country, and track. Those are your options. I think they have golf now, or tennis. I'm not sure.
And so you're trying to add to the Earth community in Spring Lake Earth High School also, aren't you?
Yes, ma'am. We're just trying to give back just because they have been so good to us. They've opened up the fields to us and the field houses for I could come home and be able to train and feel comfortable. And just trying to give back to the community. Everybody's been so good to us, and they helped us out a lot. And we're just trying to give them a place to be able to go, be able to work out, stay healthy, and also have a give back for the youth, have them a place where they could go and enjoy themselves and not have to be like at a parking lot or at the graveyards like they do a lot around here. So.
Right. And so now what will it be? Or now you haven't opened it yet.
No, ma'am. We actually just knocked down the building that was there. We're going to start from the ground up. We're just going to try to make it right the first time, first go around.
So now where is that lot?
It's actually right there in the middle off of Main Street, right next to the park off the highway. I guess you can almost say it's catty corner to the gas station at the stop sign. The building is going to be called Foundation 619. And
Foundation 619. Now, why 619?
I'll let the creator tell you about that. So, yes, ma'am.
All right, creator.
Foundation 619 is based off of 1 Corinthians 6:19 and 20. Therefore, honor God with your body. So we created an organization where we strive to help others honor God with their bodies through exercise, nutrition, and spiritual edification. So what we do right now is Spring Lake Earth, Mr. Crum has allowed us to work out in their junior high gym. So we have workouts there.
That's the superintendent.
Yes. So we work out I think like 7 times a week, offering different types of exercise for people, and then
all ages or just youth?
No, this is actually for older people. Most of the youth don't come, but most of the members of the community, teachers especially, have joined us. But it's open to everybody, men, women of all ages and all fitness levels.
And what's the charge?
For our evening and our afternoon sessions, it's $15 a month. That includes 3 sessions.
$15 a month?
Yes, that includes 3 sessions per week. And then our Wednesday and Saturday morning sessions are $5 per session. Now, once we get the building, of course, prices will change. But right now, with having a facility that's already provided for us, we just kind of raise money for the building. So dues go towards equipment, towards building, anything we need to get the building started.
And so how long ago did you start on this idea to give back to Earth specifically?
That was mainly from the first year that we got here.
And what year was that?
That was 2010. We were able to come back, and they were very open, arms, to us and all stuff. So we're just want to give back it as much as we can, especially like right now. We're like the price is talking about. We just try to make it reasonable for everybody to be able to feel comfortable to come in and just have a good time and all stuff. Later on, of course, it might change just because we'll have our own building and all that. We'll have different stuff that we have to be able to take care of. With what we bring in and all that stuff. But it's all about just giving back. Being able to give stuff that we didn't have growing up, and just being able to be there for everybody. So it's just because everybody's been so good to us, and we're going to be holding different types of events. This year we'll have our second annual marathon, or 5K, by the high school, just to be able to raise some money, and people, if they want to donate, they can. We will also have our.
And when is that going to be?
The 5K will be in June, and we also will be holding our second annual 3-on-3 basketball tournament, and to raise money as well. To pick up donations.
And when will that be?
That one will be in May as well. And just be able to, whoever wants to help to come out and support us and all stuff and just have a good time. So yes, ma'am.
Wonderful. Now, do you have a Bible study also that's already going?
Yes, we actually have one here. We hold it at my mother.
In Earth.
Yes, in Earth, Texas. Right now we're holding it at Miss Angie's, my mother-in-law, Pastor Angie's house, and just be able to have different types of couples come in, different ages and all that stuff, and just be able to share the word with them, and just be able to how important it is to make your relationship with one another, with your spouse, stronger. Make sure we put God, first and all that, and just to have an opportunity to be able to share with others what we've learned and all that, and be able to learn from them as well, because we're leading the class, but we don't know everything. We're not perfect. We're just there, just like them, just like everybody. We just want to be able to take it in as well, and learn from other couples as well. So.
Right. Uh-huh.
Yes,
is it hard to be a Christian in the NFL?
Truthfully, it is, just because you get a lot of different things, especially the way the times are today. But at the same time, I got to make sure that I stay firm. I stand my ground and stick to my beliefs and all that stuff. And I know for a fact that I wouldn't be here if it wasn't for God. So I'll try to make sure in everything that I do, everything that I say, every decision that I make, that it's from Him. I try to make sure that I put Him first in everything. So.
Well, now, why did you, changing the direction we're going here, but why did you come to Texas Tech?
My father actually had when I was getting recruited and all stuff, I had an opportunity to go anywhere that I wanted to go to, and I was actually committed to Kansas State. And my father had a heart attack the end of my junior year, and that kind of put a lot of things in perspective, that I need to be somewhat close to home to be able to get home, and just in case something happens, because I was next in line, to be the man of the house. And my main goal was to go to school, get education, and come back home to provide for my family. And when Texas Tech came knocking on the door, Coach Robert and I was stepped in. He's happened to be the O-line coach, and just what he presented to me was just what I was looking for. Felt comfortable. When I made my trip to Tech, it was like I felt like home, and I didn't take no other trip because I just felt so happy, and I felt comfortable with the coaches there. And what I felt on the recruiting trip is what I felt my entire career there. So.
And so, who did you play under?
Coach Leach. Yes, sir.
All
yes, ma'am.
years.
Yes, ma'am. Yep.
And so, what do you think about the coach now, Cliff Kingsbury?
I think he's a great coach. He was a senior when I first came in. Yes, ma'am. And I was able to play with him in 1 year. Didn't get to play with him. I redshirted, but I was part of the team and all that stuff. And just to be able to see the type of leadership that he had and what he was capable of doing, and just for him to be able to see him come back and give back, that what people were able to give to him, and share the knowledge of the game that he has, with the players there today. It's amazing. He's going to be a very successful coach, especially, he's only going to get better. He's a competitive guy. He has a lot of passion for what he does, and I just can't wait to see what he brings to Tech.
And Riley of Muleshoe, did you ever cross paths with Lincoln?
Yeah, we actually were there together and all that. I remember I think he was a walk-on, at the time, and I thought he was a pretty good player and all stuff, but I guess he decided to go the coaching route, and he became an assistant there and all that stuff. And I remember when we used to give him a hard time from going from player to a coach because he started treating us a little bit different. He started becoming one of them. But no, he's a good guy and all stuff. And from what I heard, he's doing very, very well. With Coach Ruffin at ECU and becoming one of the better offensive coordinators out there. And just I hope he continues with success. I think he had a pretty good coach. As a teacher, as Mike Leach, and he's been able to make his offense even look better.
Now, what about the Denver Broncos this year, this season? What are they going to be like?
I think we're just going to go ahead and take the next step. We went to the Super Bowl last year where we fell kind of short, but every year that I've been there, we've been able to take the next step, and the next step is to win the game now, and hopefully everything goes right. And if it's God willing, we're going to come home with a trophy next year. So.
Thank you so much for your time, Manny Ramirez, and your beautiful wife, Iris. And we're so glad that you're in Muleshoe today. You're our neighbor.
Yes, ma'am. Glad to be here, and thank you for having us.
We'll go ahead and get to the important stuff now. I started a little bit early, so we made sure we have plenty of time to hear what Manny has to say and to ask you questions. I met Manny last year over at Earth. He had called me to seeking some workout advice. And so, that's not true. But anyway, he is a super good guy, honest guy, and a God-fearing man. And I just thought that it would be neat to have him come up here and just kind of tell us some about himself. And he brought his wife Iris with him. She's an Earth native, and so I've known her for a really long time. But anyway, I'll shut up and we'll get Manny up here to talk.
How you doing today? Thank you for having me. It truly is a blessing to be able to be here and speak to y'all today. He said he was going to take his time speaking. That was only 5 minutes. But I guess I'm cool with that. Now, again, just thank you for allowing me to be here today. Also my wife, and even Barry, when he asked me to come and take the opportunity to come here and speak to y'all. I'm like, what do y'all business people why do y'all want to hear me talk? Because it's kind of like football, business, doesn't really go, I guess, one and the same, I guess. But thank you once again, and hopefully what I share with y'all today is just, an opportunity just to share part of my life and where I've come from and where I'm at today. And so, we'll get started. My name is Manny Ramirez, I'm originally from Houston, Texas. I come from a family of 5. Manny Ramirez and Rosalinda Ramirez are still in Houston. I have an older sister, her name's Rosalinda. They're another set of 5. My little brother, he still lives at home. He's 24, but fends for himself, takes care of my family. There's been a lot, that I've been through a lot, growing up, especially as far as like being a Hispanic and being told that you're not gonna make it, you're not gonna accomplish anything. Look what your dad does, look what your mom does. It's not gonna happen. But I kind of use that as motivation today, as far as like what I've been able to accomplish. And just to give you a little history where I come from, again, it was Houston, went to a 5A school, a big school, probably like 4,000 students. Nothing compared to what we have here in Earth with 200 altogether from pre-K to high school. But but just to say I'm sorry, I kind of get nervous when I speak. It's just, I'm not used to this. But being able to say that, went to Woolridge High School in Houston, Texas. There was a lot of other athletes out there. They had a lot more talent and were capable of going on to go to a D1 school or even play at this level where I'm at today. And I wouldn't even put myself in the top 10. But I think God gave me an opportunity to use those talents that He blessed me with and use them to my advantage and to be able to provide for my family. When I was in high school, I didn't really, see myself going to college and all that. Didn't see the purpose. I've always seen how my father and my mother works. But there's one day my father had a heart attack. And that kind of put everything in perspective for me as far as like what I need to do as the next man in charge, you would say. And I would say, I gotta work harder. I gotta go to get an opportunity to earn a scholarship to go to school and provide for my family. I got many offers, to go anywhere in the country. that I decided to choose Texas Tech, of course. Coming from a big city. Raiders. To be able to go there, but it was far enough from home, but at the same time close enough to get home if I ever needed to get home. My main focus was to get an education, to go back home and provide for my family. Never in my life did I ever dream about being able to play, in the NFL, especially being a Hispanic. I could probably count the 5 Hispanics on the team on one hand, of course, and there's 2 of us on the same team today. But, I went through a lot of ups and downs when I was in college, being away from home, being the first one to go to college and all that. I had a lot of my own issues. I was very immature. Got into a lot of altercations for no reason. I never liked to back down. There was one time where my freshman year in college where I got into an altercation at the club. I got into a fight, I got jumped, and I got slashed, got my lips slashed open and all that stuff. And supposedly there's like an artery right here, a little bit higher by the nose and all that. That if it would have been a millimeter higher from the club to the hospital, I would have never made it. I had to get over 6 stitches just in this little area to get it fixed. That day I kind of opened my eyes, and said, what I'm doing isn't right. What my goals are, I'm not even close to even reaching them because I'm letting my family down. I wasn't there to get an education like I thought I was, what I wanted to go back and provide for my family. I just didn't know how to approach it because being the first one in college, not having an example, not having anyone that I look up to or anything, because I'm the first one. So I went the wrong route and all that stuff, of course. But I had a trainer named Steve Pincock, and he's still at Texas Tech, he's as an athletic trainer, and he actually introduced me to my wife, Iris. She has changed me. As you know, I've always told my mom, I will never allow a girl to change me, But I met a woman and she changed me. And, I know a lot of y'all fellas here, that are married and all that stuff understand where I'm coming from. And of course, all the women here know exactly what I'm talking about. Without y'all, the men, we wouldn't be anything. We wouldn't be where we're at today. Because we know how much love and support y'all give us. We're able to do what we do for y'all. And we thank you for that. But I wasn't a Christ follower at first. She was raised in the church, and she was able to help me open my eyes and my heart to realize what I was missing. And on April 2004, I gave my life to the Lord, and it's probably the best decision I've ever made because it changed my life completely around. I had something else to fight for, and defend, of course, but it gave me an opportunity to grow as a man and to realize what was in front of me. And sorry, I kind of get a little emotional when I talk about stuff like that. But I was able to apply everything that I've ever taught, in school and on the football field to really, push me forward. And the love and motivation that I had for her, because I wanted to make her proud and be successful. So of course, right before my senior year, we got married. We got married and we had my senior season and all that stuff, had an amazing ride. But she was an athletic trainer for the volleyball team and the softball team at Tech, so we never really got that opportunity to live together. See you in the morning, see you at night, love you to death and all that. But we never got to really experience that married life as a couple. And then I get drafted by the Detroit Lions, an amazing team, I'll tell you. But no, I'm grateful for the opportunity because without them drafting me, I wouldn't be here today. So I'll move on to Detroit, and I'm there by myself. Of course, we had, rewind a little bit, she's pregnant with our little girl Zay. But at the time, we were at the bowl game, at the Inside Bowl, but we thought she just had food poisoning because there was like 3 other ladies. There were like 3 other wives that were having the same symptoms, but as well as did like a handful of football players. So we assumed, they had food poisoning too. So, of course, a few months later, we found out that she's pregnant. And the other wives as well were pregnant. So it was one of those things, like, all right. But, so, I leave, she's pregnant, she's still with her family and all that, working. And I moved to Detroit. I know I'm a husband, I know I'm about to be a father, but I never had the opportunity to really live that out. So, I was trying to make it back after the Raiders game that year, which we won. One of the few games we won in Detroit. But I was flying back because she was going to get induced on a Monday morning. And of course in Lubbock, you only get flights out, 6 o'clock the latest. So I had to wait till the next morning to fly in. And while she's in the hospital and I'm in the air, she goes into labor. So of course I miss it, and I haven't heard the end of that. But Zay has been an amazing blessing to me. You know, she's a daughter that no father could ever, be without. But they didn't move up there until November, the end of November. Oh, the end of October. Sorry, she's fixing me right now. But the end of October. And that kind of also opened my eyes and put everything in perspective as well as, like, because I was like, the first time I'm like, hey, the baby's crying. And? Where's the baby? I'm like, oh, all right. So that kind of like was the first night that I understood that I was a father and I had other responsibilities. But it was an amazing experience, a hard one, because again, we never really lived together. So when she moved to Detroit with me, we were living together and we had a baby. It's not what we were accustomed to. We were always working, we were always away and all stuff. So when I had to come home, we had issues. I was accustomed to coming home and resting, calling her, how you doing, how's the baby? Okay, bye, love you, I'm gonna rest. She's there, she's right next to me, I can't do that anymore. So I really struggled with that at first. But luckily, we had a pretty good circle in Detroit. We had a strong a faith group there. Our chaplain, Dave and Ann, they were amazing. And what they taught us was like no other. I'm so grateful for that, about being a man and being a wife. Me the man, her the wife. But just understanding our responsibilities and how important it is to one of the most important things I learned from them was like never go to bed without restoring fellowship. Because I'll stay up all night, she'll pass out. So I'm kind of the one that was suffering. But truthfully, just being able to understand our relationship and making sure that we put God, in our lives first, kind of helped out our situation there. And our relationship got better. We were we thought we were good and all that until 2010 was when I got released. And that was another opportunity to open my eyes and my heart and trust God, because you never know. We didn't understand if we were ever going to get another opportunity to play, and I never thought about another option of providing for my family. So you had to start thinking, that football, it's the NFL. It stands what people say for it, not for long. And I was like not even 3.5 years, and I was already released. I was at home. I sat out the entire year. And that put a lot of stuff in perspective of how we approach things, how we it made our relationship a lot stronger, and we were able to continue to push forward. And then, of course, the day before we found out that we got released, we had found out we were pregnant. So that kind of put another, on top of that. But again, it was all worth it in the long run. The year later, January 3rd, Denver called. That they wanted me to come play for them. So, and we had talked about it, and we had said that if we're given another opportunity, we're going to take full advantage of it, and that we're going to make sure that we honor God with every opportunity that we get. And that's why I get so nervous to talk to people in front of groups and all that stuff, especially when it's different fields and all that, because it's just not me. But one thing that me and Iris talked about, and I promised God that I understand God didn't put me on this earth to play football, but He put me in the league to have a platform to be able to speak to all types of people, all different types of places. So I'm still working on being able to feel more comfortable and get everything that I write down. Because I don't even think I've looked at this once. I think I'm almost done. But yeah, so just bear with me. I'm starting to sweat a little bit. But it's all good though. I enjoy it. I'm having fun. And we're able to move to Detroit. Denver, see? That's why I keep her. That's where we're able to move to Denver, and I didn't know what was really going to happen there. And we were pregnant with Jamari, so we bought a home here in Earth, Texas, after I said we would never live here. Because coming from Houston, it's a culture shock. But it worked out. The first season was kind of tough because I lived there by myself, and she was here. So the second year, I re-signed again and was able to return to play for Denver. And I made sure to move him up there because it was hard being away from her, my Zay and my little Jamari. That first year here, or there, Jamari would only get to know me on the weekends. They'll get him Friday, he hated me. Sunday night, Monday morning, he loved me, but they were leaving that Monday morning, so I had to start all over. So the second year there, I said, no, y'all have to be up here with me. I can't go through that. I'm a family guy, you know. So, you know, the second year, I was able to start with 12 games. You never wish an injury on any of your teammates, you know, especially one of them that you look up to. And, you know, unfortunately that happened, but I was grateful because it was an opportunity for me. And I was able to take it and run with it. And ever since then, I feel like God has blessed me with opportunity because I've tried to make sure that in everything that I do and every decision that I make, I always try to put Him first. You know, I always ask, not let it be my will, but His will. And that's worked out. And last year was just an amazing experience. Going from an 0-16 team in 2009, it's not the way you want to make it into the Canton Hall of Fame. You know, unfortunately, I'm there on the picture, 0-16. But this past year, I was able to restart my career, not known as a journeyman, but as a starter for the Denver Broncos, and also be part of the best offense in the history of the league, and also being able to say that I'm the one that snaps to the best quarterback in the game, you know, in the history of it, to Peyton. And it's just been amazing, you know, and got an opportunity to go to the Super Bowl. It was an amazing run. You know, I had an amazing time in New York all the way up to that first snap. But it's part of it. You know, I know that's probably a question they are probably going to ask about after this, but it's fine. I'm comfortable with it. Just let it go. But so for everything that Earth has been to us here, it's been amazing. They've been good to us, and all the friends we've made. You know, getting to meet Barry. You know, he helped us find a home and some land here in Earth, Texas, and I don't even live there. My mother-in-law lives there. So, and before we bought it, she goes, one day that's gonna be my house, and I'm like, I'm not getting it. And she lives there now. But thank you. You know, especially for everything you've done. You've helped us out a lot, and again, Earth has opened up their doors for us as far as like allowing me to come home and train at the high school. It's not the best equipment, but it's good. You know, we're able to bring in some tech equipment when Mike Leach got fired, but of course we don't want to talk about that. But we were able to bring that in and able to help the school out as well. You know, because they were willing to open the doors up for me when they didn't even know me. They didn't have to do that. So I'm very grateful for that. And then, you know, my wife Iris, she started her foundation 619. You know, it's a foundation where you're able to honor God with your body, and just be able to work on your wellness, your physical, and your spirit, your faith spiritually. So it is grown. You know, there's a lot of ladies and some guys from Earth that have been part of the workouts and also it's grown. And I know we've had some ladies here that are pretty interested. So it's kind of growing. And I know it's growing back in Colorado as well. And we're trying to build a building there just to give back to the community and to all the friends that, you know, that have helped us out so much. And we're just trying to do a lot of different things. You know, we even have a basketball tournament, you know, in June, in May. See, I'm still in May, that we're trying to raise money for the building. Again, just to be able to give back to the youth, because we want a place where the kids can go instead of going to the cemeteries, you know, to hang out or just parked in a parking lot all night long, you know. So it'll be a safe place where nobody has to worry about anything. So we're just trying to do a lot of different things around here that just to give back because of what everyone's been able to do for us. So I guess I'm done, you know. Just I hope you were able to take something in. Thank you for allowing me to come here and share my story. And I promise next time I'm here to talk, I'll be better. So.
Question?
If there's any questions about anything.
Did you ever think you'd be on a billboard in Times Square?
No, I did not. You know, that was another surprise to us. To like one of our friends sent us a text message with a picture of it. I'm like, well, that's amazing. You know, not many schools are willing to put up that type of money to get it on that board in New York. You know, every day. You know, 24/7. So we're very grateful for Tech to doing that because it just shows how much love and support they have for their alumni. So
Did y'all make it by there to look at it?
Oh, yeah,
While it was up?
Had to go out there. That was nice.
When do you report back to camp?
Well, training camp doesn't begin until the end of July, but as far as off-season training, we report next month on the 21st. So, as much fun it is to play in the Super Bowl, it kind of cuts your off-season in half, which kind of sucks because I haven't even been able to rest yet. There's been a lot of moving back and forth, but it was all worth it. Usually, I was talking to Iris about it, that for the teams that didn't make it to the playoffs, they've been done since the end of December, beginning of January. So, and we've only get like a month and a half off, but it's worth it. Hopefully we get to go back and finish what we started, so.
Kind of take us through, Manny, on any given week, what your schedule is.
Well, let's see. Usually the week starts for everybody like on Monday. Ours doesn't really start until on a Wednesday, so I'm kind of off a lot, you know. But on Mondays we usually go in. We start meetings like at 7. Go in for meetings from like 7 to like 10 o'clock, and then from 10:30 to like 2 o'clock we're on the field going through over everything, different type of situations. Then next we have weights, and then you have like 2:30. It's like 3:30, it's weights, and we have like, you know, our lunch or whatever. We have meetings like from all the way up to like 5:30, and that's the end of our day. Then we go back and do the same thing on Thursday. Friday's a shorter day, and then Saturdays are the days where we go in for a walkthrough and go over our script, and then at night we go to the hotel, go over some more film, and Sunday morning, depending if it's a late game or early game, you know, we get up, get ready for the game, and it's just time to go.
What about Monday and Tuesday?
Mondays, usually if you're winning, you usually get a day off. But with Peyton being the general, he wants us to go in and watch the film with him. So even those are our new Victory Mondays, which we kind of don't like, but we're able to be a part of a lot of those, you know, this year. And that's it, you know, go in and work out, watch film with the guys, and then you go home. And then Tuesday is our day off. But to an extent, they kind of expect you to go in, you know, start game planning for the next opponent and all stuff. So.
Is Peyton an easygoing guy, or is he a driver? Or
He's definitely a driver, but he's a great guy. He's a great leader. Like I said, you know, we call him the general and all that, you know, because he demands a lot, you know, of his players, and it makes you kind of lift your playing level even higher, because especially on offensive line, you don't never want to be the guy to get Peyton hit. You know, luckily this year we had the least amount of sacks in the league, so that kind of made us feel good. But I've been a part of a few hits that I wish, you know, never happened, because he kind of look at you and like, all right, am I gone or what? But, no, but it's been fun. So, but outside of football, he's just like us, like a big kid. So that's one thing about our profession, that we don't have to grow up. So until we get home with the boss.
so if y'all do let him get sacked when you get back to the huddle, does he let you know about it then, or will he let you know about it Monday?
No, he'll let us when we get back to the sideline. He'll come down to where we're at and start yelling at us, especially if the cameras are right there. No, but he's pretty good. He takes care of us and all that stuff. So.
Who recruited you at Texas Tech?
Actually, it was Robert and I. I think he's at Brigham Young now. Coach Leach came into town. I think Ruff and McNeil had came into town as well. So, had some pretty good coaches. So.
And you played under Mike Leach?
Yeah, all 5 years. The redshirt the first year, then the next 4. The thing about Leach is that the way he talks in the media is the same way he talked to us. So it kind of took a little bit, you know, a little while to get comfortable and understand what he was trying to say, because he comes out with all these different type of stories. And, you know, of course, the biggest one was the Pirates. Every offseason he takes a book and he reads it and he applies the following season to that. So it's been fun. It was fun. So, of course, you don't want to see him leave, but I think we got a great coach here now. So.
Do you keep up with him at all?
Every once in a while, because we don't really get to watch, you know, that much football, just because we're always in meetings or, you know, or on the field when college games are on. But I try to as much as possible. I'll probably keep up with him more through other players when I talk to them, just let him know how he's doing, who they're bringing in, or coach went there with him. So, but outside of that.
Don't y'all have a Bible study on the team or something?
Yes, we have our chaplain. His name's Chip. He leads our Bible studies at work. On Thursdays, right after we get out of lifting weights and all that. But actually, me and Iris hold the Bible studies at our house. We have our couples Bible studies, and of course, single guys are always welcome to come and learn. So they could have their little set of rules of what to expect and all that stuff. But no, it's been going good. When we first got there, we didn't have anything like that. Because I guess when Josh McManus was there, he kind of got rid of it. But when Fox came in, he's really big on it. But our chaplain, isn't married and all that stuff, so we kind of took it upon ourselves to start leading it at our home. So we opened up our doors, but we learned a lot from the chaplains that we had in Detroit because they were amazing. They showed us a lot about how to lead and being able to establish your relationship with one another and with God, and being able to teach other, help other couples as well, because we're all in it together. Especially if you're able to get a group to open up, there's a lot you can share and all that stuff, especially when you don't want to ask a question, but the question gets answered because someone else is going through it. And I feel we've been able to allow that to grow in our house, and being able to be the leaders of it, it's amazing.
Manny, how did you go from being released from an 0-16 team to starting for a Super Bowl team? Do you feel like you improved?
Definitely improved. Definitely improved. Just like the situation in Detroit, I feel like I improved every year. It's just like there's so much change there because they want to try to fix everything on the spot. There you're always walking on eggshells, afraid to mess up. Because as far as the offensive line, there were so many of us. They'll put me in. Oh, he messed up. Get out. Get the next guy in there. Oh, he messed up. Get him out. Manny, get back in there. So there was no really an opportunity to get to jail with your offensive line. And some of the coaches were old school, so they never really took the time to teach you and all that stuff. But luckily I had some good veterans that were willing to take me underneath their wings and all that stuff and teach me technique and all that type of stuff and how to approach the different situations, how to handle coaches. So when I got released, it was kind of weird because I was part of the 0-16 team, but at the same time going to the next season I had won the left guard spot. And but our right guard went down, but I'm the only one that was able to play multiple positions, so I bumped over. Well, before the season started, the kid wanted to try to play. Well, him and the coach and that player have father-son relationship. All right, get back in there. So I went from being in the top 5, starting left guard, to out of the top 8, just like that. So I wasn't even suited out. So the fourth game came around, they let me go. It kind of makes you think, are you even capable of playing at that level? But just the motivation that I've always had as far as using that type of stuff. If someone tells me that I'm not good enough, I'm gonna go ahead and prove it wrong, And I'm not gonna tell you, I'm just gonna let you see it. And when I was given the opportunity in Denver, I had some more guys over there that were willing to teach me, and I was open ears and everything. I'll try to take some of their game, apply it to mine, and use my strengths, on the field as well. And bumping over to center has been amazing. I haven't played center since my sophomore year in high school, but that's what got me a scholarship. So I was kind of happy that I was given another opportunity to play that position. And when we're on the field, I like to communicate a lot. I like to talk. I like to be in charge. I like to be able to set. And at center, you have to do that. You have to be vocal. You have to make sure all 5 guys are on the same page. And I love it. And every week I was just making sure that I was on point with all the terminology that we had to use, and also to make sure that all 5 guys were on the same page as fast as we can. Because of course, y'all know how fast we run our offense. Payne to give us not even 5 seconds sometimes, and we have to make the adjustments like that and go. So, and plus, it's similar to what Leach does at Tech, or now what is it at Washington State. So, it's all different types of experiences and situations that I've been in have helped growing up today and looking to improve.
Have you ever snapped the ball without him saying Omaha first?
Yeah, Omaha is just a different snap count. But at the same time, we bluff a lot. but we're not the team that came up with Omaha. A lot of different teams just have used it before. It's just like, it's Peyton, he says it, you know, so they kind of jumped on the, you know, on it. We're gonna try to put this in the news and all stuff, so it's nothing major. It's just another snap count that we have in our arsenal of stuff, so.
How long are you currently signed?
If everything goes right and I stay healthy, I'll be there until the end of 2015, hopefully longer, so.
Who's the toughest defensive lineman you've played against?
In the league?
Yeah, the meanest, toughest, bad.
I think when I was in Detroit, it was Jenkins from the Green Bay Packers, when he was like in his prime and all that. He was very active, strong, short, and all that. I think the next guy would have been Sean Rogers. You know, he's a Texas guy, just 6'5", 360 pounds, but moves like he's like 280. You know, so. And there's one of my strengths is I'm very strong and powerful. Not many can outpower me the way he did. You know, especially when we were on the Detroit, he grabbed me by one arm and just, all right, you gotta step up. There's a lot of good guys out there, though. You know, you got Haloti Nada from Baltimore. Of course, you got Sue in Detroit. There's a lot of guys out there, so it's very competitive every week. So.
Didn't you hold the bench press record at Tech for a long time?
I held it for a good while, and then it got shattered by Rylan Reed. He was a left tackle for them. He was an ex-baseball player. Like, I had 550, and he shattered it by like 625. Lasted a few years.
What do you lift now? What do you bench?
Truthfully, at this level, it's not about like see how much weight you can lift. It's more about maintaining.
Right.
So I don't really worry or work on like getting strong, because that's just one of my strengths. So I focus more like on make sure my core is strong and make sure I try to keep my quick feet that I have. So but it's not really that quick. It's more about maintaining it, just, you know, make sure you stay healthy and all that stuff. Okay.
Elway is a big person in Denver.
Yes.
Do you have a lot of contact with him, or is he involved any in what's going on out there?
He has a lot. He's involved a lot, you know, and he understands, of course, the players, and because of course he's one of the best players to ever play the game himself. But just what he's been able to do throughout his career, whether it's football or his business or coming back to us, he's been very successful, and I think that just shows the type of passion, how much dedication he has for whatever he puts his mind into. And I'm glad we have him, and I hope I get to finish out my career there, just to play for someone like that. So much passion.
Well, that's a good legacy to have.
Oh,
If you all feel that way about it, that's really good. What about this other question that I have? What about hazing, or were they? You all have that in Denver?
It's not hazing, you know. You just, when you're a young guy, you kind of like, you know, you got your duties and all something. If you don't want to, you know, do them, you know, of course there's might be things here and there that are going to happen, but it's nothing crazy, you know. It's nothing where we're going to hurt them or anything. It's just having fun. I personally don't do it as much, just because I had real good veterans when I was in Detroit. They took care of me. They never made me do anything. I never even had to carry a set of pads, you know, where you see some guys, they're like stacked, like with 5 or 6 pads on them and still holding 4 more. So I had good vets. So I kind of like try to pass that along too. I had good vets, so I try to be a good vet. I try to take care of the younger guys and just show them the ropes. But then you got some guys that were dogged and treated, you know, pretty bad from their vets, so they try to do the same. But it's nothing crazy. So it's just nothing but fun. So.
Well, I can't imagine the shape of the person that would try to bully you.
I'm surprised. Like, I understand y'all see me as a big individual, but like on our offensive line, I'm probably the shortest. You know, you got Louis. He's what, 6'6", 340. You got Orlando, our right tackle, he's almost 6'6", 330 himself. Our left tackle, Clady, he's like almost 6'7", 320. And then Zane was our lightest guy. He was 305, but he was like 6'5", though. And I'm barely pushing 6'4", and 320, so.
Who do you think the best receiver was?
In the league or on our team?
On your team.
We had a lot of good guys, but I would say DT just overall, but we got a lot of, out of all of our receivers, There's not many teams that have 2 or 3 guys over 1,000 yards, 4 or 5 guys, at least 10 touchdowns. So we have a pretty good group.
Did you play with Wes Welker?
Yes, I played with Wes for 2 years, if I remember correctly, and then 2 years with Louis.
What's the lifespan typically, and what's your goal for?
Truthfully, the average career nowadays is maybe 2.5 years. Luckily, I've been blessed. I'm going on 8, and especially for a career where I've had a lot of lows compared to my, my highs. I'm very grateful for that. My goal has always been 10 years, but I truthfully will take 8 that I'm given. If I had to put a number on it, I would say at least now, with the way the league is now, this new CBA, 12 years hopefully. So that's my goal.
So what's your backup plan after you reach that goal?
Well, right now, truthfully, we're building that foundations building, in earth. Hopefully, we're able to bring in, that'll be part of our, what we go to afterwards. When I'm done playing, we'll have the foundation 619 building. We're gonna hopefully, Carlos, the barbecue locker. We're gonna open that up hopefully this off season, hopefully sometime soon. We'll have that, and we're part of a chain called Muscle Maker Grill. They're all on the East Coast. It's more of a healthy eating, but it's not fast food, but you're able to go in, order it, and leave if you want, or you can sit down and enjoy it. It's more healthy eating. So we're part of that chain. We're gonna get some of those open as well. So, and I've thought about it. If everything goes right and we end up living here, because I know I said I would never live here, but I love it here now. I really do. I love the lifestyle here. It's like it fits me. I'm very laid back and like to lay low, so I kind of like it. If everything goes right, I'll like to one day be able to coach at Spring Lake Earth, be the head coach there. So just be able to give back and share it. So.
Any more questions? All right.
Manny, we sure do appreciate you coming, and you did great. Thank everybody for coming today and braving the wind and getting out in it. Y'all have a good week, and we'll see you next Tuesday.